Hello, I'm here today with my big boy. Oh, Chuck. We got baby girl wandering around, but he's so cute. Just wants a ton of love. I just weighed in this morning at 100, just below 116 pounds, which is pretty annoying, but I'm just kind of gaining and losing the same 5 pounds, which sucks big time. I haven't seen 120 in a while though, and I don't really know how to gain any more weight. I'm really, like yesterday I ate, I had a rest of an Albertsons sandwich with some potato salad. In the morning I had a coconut water and a protein shake, so that was my breakfast. That was my lunch. I had a second lunch with, it was a In-N-Out burger. I had just a single, but it was really good. And I was like surprised I was able to eat that. So I had two sort of things, liquid, but sort of things for breakfast. And then I had a pretty decent sized lunch. Like a sandwich and potato salad is pretty good. So, and then I also had that burger. And then at night I had a McChicken and some kefir, which is like yogurt. So I had like a really well balanced day, and I'm weighing in at 116. Like, that's pretty ridiculous. So I don't know why. But I applied for a job it's full time. Uh, it's like a coin processing company, and they drug test. So I've been 3 days sober. Wow. I'm just gonna try to. They have a zero tolerance policy, so I'm gonna have to try to push it off. Say I cannot test for 30 days. So, I'm just drinking water, doing my thing. Um, it's been fine so far, of course. Like, I don't need it, and I know that, but it's just mentally, I think it's been helping me so much. I could use a little better moderation because I do definitely smoke a lot, but I haven't been terrible at that. It hasn't been to the point where I have gotten sick, so I'm not like making myself sick from it. I just don't know why I'm not able to gain weight. I'm pretty scrawny, and that sucks. Don't be eating that. Don't be eating my guitars. Look at this silly guy. and so anyway, I'm really hoping I get that job, and so that's why I need to push it off as long as I possibly can, because I really would like that job, and I don't know if they're gonna let me push it off. But until then, I'm just working at Ross. I work in the Latino back rooms. It's pretty great. And I like it there. I love it there. Actually, I have a great time, and I enjoy what I do. I'm just stock, so I restock. I run in the back rooms, and um, it's pretty chill, but I also process their money too. I process their deposits and things like that. So it's a very like easy job for me. I put a little nugget, and I really enjoy it. But it's only part time, and it only pays 14 an hour. So I just need something full time. And until then, I'm gonna try to pick up substitute teaching shifts too. But I don't know if I can, because they're implementing like a new training system, and I haven't completed that. So it's just kind of, we'll see how it goes. We'll see where that happens. I'll probably not be able to do that anymore, but it was a good run. I had a good, like 6 substitute teaching. Get away from there! I had like a good 6 substitute teaching shifts, so it was just a great experience because I always wanted to be a teacher growing up. So I'm glad I got to live that for as little bit as I did. And I don't know. I think that I have a lot of hope with this job if I can get it. Oh, come on, bud. He's chewing on my capo. I have one of the non-traditional capos where it doesn't just clip in, it goes across the top and tightens with the mechanism. He likes to chew on that, so it's a little annoying, but there is a song I want to learn on guitar. It's called Under Your Wing by Pao Fu, and he's been my favorite music artist forever. And normally, I've already like tabbed out one of his songs before. He normally does like rap, like hip hop, lo-fi kind of stuff, or pop punk. But he made a really beautiful acoustic Christian song, and I love it. I'm in love with it. It's amazing, and it's called Under Your Wing. And so I'm gonna try to learn that sometimes. I need to cut my nails because you can't play guitar with long nails, but it's just been a while. I usually keep them decently trimmed. Anyway, I've been doing really good. Mentally, I'm really good. Something my boyfriend pointed out to me that I hadn't thought to recognize before was that I don't cry nearly as much as I did. I used to cry all the time, and I kind of forgot about that, but I would just I was always sad. I really was just that depressed where I would just end up crying because of it. And I don't know, I'm doing so much better now, and a lot of that is because of him. He's helped me, better communication where I'm able to spell out what I'm feeling, and I'm very grateful for that. And, just the comfort, the happiness of having him, of having a life partner and someone I can trust and depend on, but also, we want the same things, have the same goals, and I'm very happy for that. Um, Something else I know that has helped was at the beginning of the year, I started that art account, and it's given me sort of something to dedicate myself to. Even though I don't work, I don't do art. I'm not an artist. I just draw. It's not my career. I don't make money from it. I don't take any commissions. I do trades. I do art requests, so like free commissions. And because it's an opportunity for me to practice, right now I'm working on a wedding anniversary gift for my friends, and it's been a lot of fun to work on. I'm 30 hours into it, so when I think about that, that's time that I would have wasted doing whatever, watching anime, just participating in hobbies that don't actually matter to me as much as drawing does, because I've always loved art. I've always been passionate about it. Wanted to be an art teacher is what I wanted to be, because I never felt like I had the skills to be an artist, and I kind of recognized that early on. And I wasn't upset by that, because I was just happy to draw. I was happy to do anything, and I'm getting a little bit better now that I'm drawing every day, almost every day. I didn't yesterday, but that was just because, I was out with my family a lot of the day. My sister and her fiance just got a camper trailer, like a tent trailer, and I went over to go with my parents to go see it, and they helped them set it up. That's why we got in and out. That's why I had a second lunch. But because my mom insisted that I eat, she's like, "You're wasting away." She always sees how scrawny I am. I wear baggy clothes, so you can't really tell, but I wear really fitted clothes at work. Besides my jeans are baggy because they're my ex-boyfriends, which I'm gonna touch on that later. But I look so scrawny, and then they're always surprised. They're like, "You're fucking strong," and they'll put me in the furniture, so I'll be unpacking couches from cardboard boxes and like building office chairs and things like that. And like I get it done, so they put me there because they know I will get it done and I'm strong enough to do so. I'm like one of the only women they can kind of depend on to do that, because it is a man's job. It's something strength, and that is part of what worries me for the job I applied for. Is it's gonna be mostly manual labor. I would be a coin processor, and so I'm just lifting 50-pound bags of coins and pouring them into machines, sorting them out, things like that. So it's going to be a lot of it's going to be physically demanding. And I love manual labor. It makes me so happy. I love being in the furniture section of Ross. I love doing that hard work, and I enjoy it so much. And so the only thing that poses an issue is my weight, because I know I can do it. I just don't think I could sustainably do it now. So, which is nice, because if I'm putting off starting that job, if I'm putting off the drug test as long as I possibly can, and I'm not like this is it. If I don't get this job, I kill myself. I'm not putting a whole lot of weight on this job. I might make it seem like I am, but it's mostly just a good opportunity that I'm trying to take advantage of, is all. And so this 30 days will give me an opportunity to gain weight. The problem is I ate so much yesterday. I ate so much, and I didn't work out or do anything besides that. I didn't walk around excessively. There was no reason I should have burned so much to weigh as much as I do, because I weigh less than the time before that I weighed. And I know it's a culmination of a couple days and whatever circumstances, but this sucks. That sucks. I'm just not able to gain weight, and I never realized before how much I took it for granted, my weight, because I think my highest weight I've ever been was 145, and I felt pudgy. I felt fat, and that's like a perfectly healthy weight for my height, because I'm 5'8", and so I'm a pretty big girl, and I needed that weight, and I felt so big, but I didn't realize how much energy I always had, how much I was never felt low, down. I felt so physically capable, but now standing takes its toll on me, and so I'm stronger now that I'm working at Ross, because I'm actually working out. I have, muscle, things like that, but I just don't have the weight to support that. I don't have the weight to continue. I'm burning more, and so I'm gonna start burning through. I have no fat, so I'm gonna start burning through muscle, which actually is gonna help with the drug test, because THC is stored in the fat. Um, so it's gonna leave my system a little faster. So even if I can't push it off for the full 30 days, I might be okay. Um, it's just, I'm leaving it up to fate. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I'll do my best to make it work, I'll give my best effort to, and that'll be that. Anyway, mentally, I'm doing great. I haven't felt so emotionally stable in such a long, like my whole life. I've been depressed since I was like 10. I've thought of killing myself since I was like 13. So I'm 22 years old now. It's been almost 10 years that I've lived with thoughts of suicide. And don't get me wrong, I still think about it. It sucks. I'm plagued with the visions. And I think about it. But I try not to focus on it now, and I try not to take it seriously now because I know that I have a really good life, and I really enjoy it. I love it. I love it so much, and for how much I'm really disappointed in the direction this world is moving. We haven't had societal change for the better in ever. Everything's been downhill since Harambe died. That's the damn truth. So it's just it is what it is. I'm going to do my best, and that's all I can do. And I'm actually feeling like I'm achieving something, like we're getting somewhere. Like me and my boyfriend have a chance to make it. And I think what really turned that around for me was actually what's motivating me to actually commit to this, to stop smoking. As easy as that sounds, like, oh, sobriety, just it's that easy. But that smoking has helped with my depression so much, so it's just it's give and take. But what I'm really committed to this for, trying to get this job, and obviously I'm not going to stress it. I don't have any expectations. I don't want to be disappointed, but I'm going to do my best for it, because one of my coworkers at Ross, she was talking about how her daughter is pregnant, and she's finally showing. She finally has the baby bump, and when she was talking about that, I was getting so excited because I can't wait for that. I'm so excited to be a mom, and I want that so bad, and that's only gonna happen if we can make it happen, if me and my boyfriend can give a child a good life financially. And because that's our biggest struggle right now, is just finances. And in general, my generation, that's what it is trying to make enough money to live, because we don't have daddy's money. We don't have that. He has kind of rich parents, but they, brought themselves up from nothing. It's very respectable, and, he'll get some sort of inheritance when they pass away, and we're not going to count on that. Obviously, I don't want to wait for my parents to die to get something. I love my parents, and I can't bear the thought of them passing, but, they're getting old. My dad's 68, I believe. Yeah, he turned 68 this year, and that's insane to me that my father is 68 years old. That's kind of like what people's grandparents are at, and so it worries me, but I don't have any help from them financially. They do sometimes. They'll buy me, like yesterday, they bought me some coconut water from the grocery store and a can of mackerel, but that means a lot to me. Just those small things, they help me out so much, and I'm really grateful for that. But my boyfriend and I, we like the financial situation to support having a child, and we likely won't be in a proper situation until I'm like 30. But even so, 30 years old is not a bad age to have a child. I feel like I'll be fully matured, ready to, in a position where I can stay home and raise a kid. I'm not gonna have a daycare kid, that's for sure. But both of our parents love the idea of they want grandkids. Every parent really does. But so we'll never have to pay for daycare, even if we have to work. But I really want to be home for the child. I want to be a stay-at-home mom like my mom was, because I'm so grateful for the way she raised me. And there's a lot that I'm looking forward to, and I feel like I haven't had that in so long. I gave up on the idea of having kids forever ago, because I knew it just wouldn't really be possible in this world. And for how depressed I was like, I could never inflict this on someone else. I could never bring someone else into a world that's so horrible. But the world is beautiful. It is. There's so much good in it. There's so much good. And I think there's just so much good in our home too. And I'm very happy. I'm very happy now. I still struggle. I still get depressed, but it's not like it was. Things are better now. And that's something I never heard growing up. It's always, oh, it's all downhill from there. It sucks being an adult. Things like that. Like, it does not get better. But I, I decided it would. And ever since I turned 18, because I hated being a child, I hated having no power, no decisions, nothing. And now, I have to deal with stuff like insurance and things like that, and, jobs, working, stuff like that. But I like that so much more than school. I enjoy that so much more than being forced to go to school, than, having to talk to people I really don't care about and don't like. And I don't know. I don't know. I decided what it meant to be an adult when I was a kid, and so what I decided was that adults don't get embarrassed, which is really funny. And I still get embarrassed. I still get like, that kind of embarrassed, but I'm never ashamed like I was. I still look pretty horrible. I'm breaking out pretty bad because I'm gonna start my period soon, but I look like this, and I don't feel a need to hide away. I don't feel ashamed of this because I know that I do my best to take care of myself. I know that I eat healthy and I keep my face clean, and this is still the result of that. This is the result of my efforts, and it's out of my control. I used to be like, when COVID hit, I wore a mask for years after because I was so afraid of people seeing my face, and because this part of my face is the worst, they kind of covered it up. And I'd wear beanies, so like you could barely see me. And it took so long to break out of that, but I decided that when I graduated high school, I would stop wearing a mask and progress from there. So slowly throughout my classes, I would choose like my art class, I stopped wearing a mask. And then English class, I stopped wearing a mask. And during lunch, I would stop wearing a mask because I didn't really eat. But anyway, it was something that I really built up to. So I have not been ashamed of my appearance ever since I'm an adult. I don't feel the need to wear makeup. I don't feel the need to dress a certain way to impress anyone. I don't feel so much pressure that I put on myself in high school as a kid, and I feel so much more free because of it. I see the way that, like, my older sister, she doesn't leave the house without makeup. She's very ashamed of her appearance because she also struggles with acne. My mom, she talks about herself like she's ugly. She says that she has that belly, but she gave life to four kids. I mean, how could you say that about yourself? And I don't ever want to be like that. I don't ever want to be ashamed of my appearance because I can't control it. I can't control what I look like. I do my best to what I can control. I keep my hair decently clean. I take care of myself in what I can. I eat healthy. I'm struggling with my weight right now, so I'm not a healthy weight, but I do my best to stay healthy, and I think that health is beautiful. I think, being severely underweight or being obese is ugly because it's not healthy. That's my opinion, and so I want to be the healthiest I can be because I think that's what beauty is being your best self. And so I've just been doing that, and I feel happy that way. I haven't felt so ashamed like I did when I was a kid, because I hated myself when I was a kid, and I didn't know how to love. I didn't at all, because after my grandma passed, she was like my whole world, my best friend. When she passed away when I was 10 years old, I thought that there was no one left in the world to love me. I was fully convinced of that I would never be loved again. And I shut a lot of people out because I was so strong in that opinion. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy. And somewhere along the way, I realized that if I was never going to be loved, I could still love others. And so slowly I began to be kinder to people, to let people in, to open up, and to show love. And along the way, I began to show love to myself. And I'm capable of that now, and I feel loved by my family, my boyfriend, my cats. I feel cared for, and I never thought I'd feel that. So a lot of the reason for my depression is kind of dwindling away. I'm actually happy now. And it's not something I ever thought that I would get to experience. When I was 17, I decided to kill myself I I pushed away. I don't have any friends. I have one friend from high school because I pushed all of them away in preparation to do so. I, boxed up all my belongings. It happened to be that my parents were redoing the carpet and painting the walls at the same time. So everything I owned, every wall decoration, everything was already packed into boxes, put away. I was gonna kill myself, and I knew how that I was going to do it. At some point, I decided to live, and that was probably the hardest decision I ever made. Hi, baby girl. This is the baby girl. Hi, pretty girl. It was hard to decide to live because I was so convinced for so long that I just wanted to die, and I didn't know how to live. I didn't know how I wanted to live my life going from there, and what kind of a person I wanted to be, because I wasn't a good person. And when you don't love, when you don't care about anything, you're a pretty bad person. And I did some pretty bad things that I've changed. I've become a better person because I've opened myself up, and I'm an adult now, and I'm so happy. So every year of my life since I turned 18, life got better, and I'm very, very grateful for that. I'm grateful that I held on. My ex-boyfriend was the reason at the time, and I'm still struggling with my anger towards him. I still find myself focusing on the betrayal of that he left without a word, without really a real explanation, when I found out over a year later that he was seeing someone else behind my back. And if he had just told me when he broke up with me, hey, I like someone else, I would have not have suffered as much as I did, because I did everything to try to get him back. I did everything to try to work things out with him, but it was never going to work because he liked someone else. He just didn't like me anymore. And if he just would have said that, I find myself very, very angry with him all the time. Any minor inconvenience, I think about like actually beating him up, like physically knocking the life out of him because I find myself hating him, and I don't want to live with that hatred. So I've been really trying to let go. I always wished I got an apology from him for that, because it made my life hell. His decision not to tell me the truth really affected me. Also, his mom's decision not to tell me the truth, because I saw her. I had lunch with her like 2 weeks after we broke up, and she had every opportunity to tell me he was seeing someone else. And she didn't, so fuck her. And I'm trying, I resent that so much, but I also know that it was the best thing ever. Him breaking up with me was the best thing ever, because it set me free from someone who I wasn't meant to be with. I'm happy with my boyfriend, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm glad he broke up with me. I find myself still so pissed about how he did it, and I get so angry with him still, and it's been years. And so I'm really trying to work on that lately. I'm trying to control my negative thoughts, and every time I think of anything negative, I try to instead direct it towards something positive. So like while I'm in traffic, I find myself getting frustrated by these horrible drivers because, man, there's some dumbasses on the road. And instead of just letting myself focus on that, I look up at the sky. I'm like, oh, this is God's beautiful day. It's amazing that I'm experiencing this. It's good that I'm alive to see the wind blow through the trees and to hear the birds. I'm practicing gratefulness for all the blessings that I do have, and that's helped me quite a bit. It's something I'm still struggling with. It's something I'm still trying to work on within myself, to be a happier person, to be more grateful, because I do have a lot, and I've always known that. I've always known that I have so much in my life, that I'm blessed, and I was depressed regardless because I didn't have a love or care for it. I didn't truly appreciate it. I recognized what I had, but didn't feel any connection to it. And oh god, my leg's going numb. But now it's just, it's like, okay, everything's okay, and I'm just doing my best. That's all I can do. I can't find a comfy position now that my leg's numb, but so I'll shut up soon. But I think something else I wanted to touch on is I'm kind of like a total Jesus freak now. I don't, not in the way where I'm constantly preaching about it. I don't go around like, have you heard of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? You know, I'm not that kind of like hardcore, you know, Texas Christian, very, you know, but the Lord is constantly in my thoughts. I find myself feeling very enlightened, very blessed, you know, and hopeful. And, you know, Corinthians 13:13. You know, I don't know it exactly, but I know the gist is that the only values in our world, the only thing that will be eternal is faith, hope, and love. Love being the greatest, the strongest. And so nothing else matters. And nothing else. I'm not going to have this sadness forever, you know. For how much I suffer here, being a good person is hard. You know, worldly people thrive. You see, especially with like Epstein files, things like that. They're doing good, doing bad things here, and godly people suffer. People who do the right thing end up, you know, suffering. They take on the burden of making the right choices because it is burdenous, and Christ recognized that in the Revelations. But he was like, yeah, it's going to be a burden to be a good person, but it's the right thing to do. Come on, baby girl, get down from there, silly girl. And gosh, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, only the hope, faith, and love are the things that are gonna matter in the end. And that's amazing, because I know that for how much I've suffered in this life, the reward isn't in this lifetime. It's gonna be like that. I'm gonna have to deal with the burden of being a good person, of doing the right thing, making the right choices, doing the right thing without credit. And I'm pretty happy like that, because I know that the reward isn't in this lifetime. You know, we were promised a paradise, the heaven after this. And I wholeheartedly believe that I will see everyone there. I'll see everyone good there. I don't think that, something that I never thought to question before, but I recently have been thinking about now, was that a lot of religions, like I know Seventh-day Adventists believe this, Mormons believe this, that if you don't believe in like Christ, if you don't believe in God in this life, you know, you will not go to heaven, you will not have that opportunity. I actually think I disagree with that, because that doesn't make sense. I think that a good person belongs there. I think that if you're good, you're carrying out God's will, even if you don't recognize it, even if you don't know it, admit it. You know, it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe in something you can't see. I get it. It's blind faith. That is truly what it is. And I see enough evidence. I see enough evidence of miracles, of blessings around me, just around me, that I believe enough. I see enough to believe, but not everyone does. In hard places, it's hard to. But I think that if, regardless of that, regardless of what you believe, if you're a good person, you're genuine, you belong in heaven, you're carrying out God's will, and all he wants is that love, the love being the strongest, the greatest. And even if you don't have a lot of faith, even if it feels kind of hopeless sometimes, if you continue to love, if you never shut yourself out from it, if you do things from love, I think that's the biggest difference. Is I don't do things to be loved. I don't do things for that validation or anything. I do things from love, out of, the love of my heart, the caring. That's all what it stems from, and that's what the good stems from, is love. And I think that if you have that, you're gonna get into heaven. There's no reason you shouldn't, just because you don't believe. That's ridiculous. But so that's what I've been thinking about lately. I think that, not all of my siblings are very religious at all. I'm the most out of all of them. Some of them don't believe at all, but I still know I'll see them there, because my sisters are so good. And I want, regardless of what I want, what I truly believe is I'll have eternal life with them. And it's very exciting. It does give me hope. And, I know that all the suffering I experience, all of the cruelty I put up with, it's not going to be like this forever. Truly, I'll have suffered to appreciate the paradise after. I'll have all the memories of what it's been like to be depressed, what it's been like to struggle, to battle, to fight the wars within myself, the conflicts. I'll know what it has been like, so that when everything's, sunshine, rainbows, fluffy clouds, and I'll be able to appreciate it. I'll still have the memories, and I'll still know what it's like to be sad, so that I can truly feel that joy of eternal life. And what I'm most excited for is the knowledge. When one of the things, I can't remember which religion I heard this from, I think it was Mormonism, but they believe when you go to heaven, you get the eternal knowledge of what truly happened. Like, we have the theory of gravity. It isn't proven yet, but it's just a theory. We have, a lot of theories. The theory of evolution, there's the creationist theory, and we don't have any solid proof of that. So it'll be nice that when I go to heaven, I'll know the true story. I'll get the reality of what happened. And that's what I believe. It's okay if you don't. I'm not trying to convert anyone. I'm just talking. I'm just yapping. My baby girl, she's so sweet. But I feel blessed in my life. And I never thought I would feel this way. But I'm very grateful for it. And that's all. That's all. I've been such a happier person since I've included the Lord in my life. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, regardless of how things turn out, even if, I turn out to be wrong, of course, just like, 1/3 of the entire population who believes in Jesus Christ, which is crazy to think about, that across the whole world, that we're united by that. Even if we're wrong, it's faith, hope, and love. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to love thy neighbor. It's not a bad thing to follow his commandments. And I don't know. I'm happy. That's all. I'm doing quite well. And that's cool. Because I started this checking in kind of series because I hated my life. Because life sucked. And I kept focusing on how much my life sucked. But truly my life is awesome. Life is as beautiful as I let it be. And my life feels very beautiful. I have a great family. I've made a good family for myself with my boyfriend and cats. Everything's good. So I'm going to continue on with my day. I'm going to try to eat some breakfast, and I'm going to draw. And today I'm going to try to do my chores. I'm going to try to go to the gym, because I am going to need more arm strength for those 50-pound coin bags. But everything's good. Everything is really good. So, thanks. And I love you guys. I hope all is doing well. And regardless of what you believe, I pray for you all. Father, I pray that you protect them, that you keep everyone safe, that you lead them on the path they are meant to be on, that you allow them to experience their God-given gift, to utilize that, to become better people, to show love to others and to themselves.